There are many animals that react strangely or move to safety before heavy rain, storms, or floods. I thought it would be interesting to share with you a few examples of animals that do this, so we can learn how they predict danger and maybe even get an idea of what to pay attention to in our own lives to stay safe and prepared. Just like you mentioned the ants, which is a great example. So let's start with some creatures in water. When the weather starts to get bad, fish often swim away from the shallow parts of the water or the shore. This could be because they feel tiny vibrations in the water or notice changes in water pressure or currents. It's like they have a sixth sense for knowing that something is coming. Big fish like tuna, salmon, and catfish usually swim deeper into the water to escape strong currents, or maybe they're looking for calmer water. Smaller fish like minnows and dace often hide among rocks or plants in the water to protect themselves from the current. Some fish like carp and catfish might dig a little nest in the mud at the bottom of the water to keep from being swept away by the current. This way they can stay safe until the water level goes back down. Frogs also croak more when it's going to rain. When the air gets more humid and the pressure changes before a rainstorm, frogs become more active and start croaking. Male frogs tend to make loud noises to attract females, especially during or after a rain shower. The sound they make is not only a way to find a partner, but also a way to tell each other that they're there. Now let's look at ants and other small creatures. You already talked about how ants move their home to higher ground. That's really smart of them, isn't it? Now let me tell you about some other bugs. Ants are not the only ones who know how to prepare for heavy rain. When it starts raining heavily, many insects, especially those living on plants, need to find shelter quickly. Black-field crickets often move to the underside of leaves or tall blades of grass to stay dry. They don't like to stay out in the open when it rains because they could dry out and die. Grasshoppers are another insect that moves to a new spot when it rains. They prefer to stay on plants, but if the rain is really heavy, they might fly to a different plant with more protection. Crickets, katydids, and true bugs are known to change their behavior in rainy conditions. They seem to notice changes in air pressure and humidity long before a storm arrives, just like other animals we've talked about. Some insects like dragonflies and damselflies fly around in the rain, but they usually wait for the rain to stop before flying too far away. They don't like to fly in the rain because the water makes it hard for them to fly. Even butterflies try to stay dry during a rainstorm. If they get wet, their wings can get damaged and they might not be able to fly anymore. When it rains, butterflies look for places under leaves or inside flowers to hide. Birds are also pretty good at sensing changes in the weather. When a storm is coming, birds often fly higher in the sky or travel further away to find a safer place. They can sense changes in air pressure and speed, which helps them prepare for the storm. Seabirds like herons and egrets can tell when the ocean is getting rough or when strong winds are coming. Because of this, they sometimes fly away early to find calmer waters. Hawks, falcons, and other birds of prey are built to fly in strong winds. They often take advantage of the wind to help them soar high above the ground. During a storm, these birds may move to higher ground where there's less wind and they can keep a lookout for prey. Even bigger animals like buffalo, cows, and elephants know how to respond to the signs of flooding. When rivers overflow, these animals often move to higher ground. They can sense changes in humidity, the smell of water, and the sound of rising water, which helps them prepare for the flood. Elephants are particularly good at knowing when there's going to be a lot of rain or a flood. They can feel the ground vibrate with their sensitive feet, which helps them sense danger from far away. If a river starts to overflow, they can cross to the other side or climb up a nearby hill to stay safe. These big animals usually head to areas that are naturally higher or safer. For example, they might move to the tops of hills, elevated ground, or even tree-covered areas. These places tend to be safer during floods since they're usually away from overflowing rivers and rising water. When they get to these safe spots, they might rest, eat, or keep an eye out for any more flooding. Sometimes smaller animals like foxes, mice, and rabbits also know to seek shelter before a big storm. Foxes often look for a den or a hole in a tree to hide in when it's raining heavily or there's a storm. Mice and rabbits also try to find a safe place to hide. They might snuggle up in their burrows or hide in tall grasses to stay protected. I think it's really interesting how many animals know to move to safety or change their behavior before a flood or a storm. Of course, some animals might not be predicting the future, but reacting to signals in their environment. Changes in pressure, vibrations in the ground, or the smell of rain can all give them clues about what's coming. Being able to understand these signals helps them stay safe, which is important for their survival. But it also gives us humans a chance to learn from them. By paying attention to the behavior of animals around us, we might be able to better understand our own environment and be more prepared for things like flooding or storms. All right, let me share one last story with you. Honeybees and wasps usually calm down and fly less when a storm is coming. They might spend more time inside their hive or nest and only go out when the weather gets better. They do this because they want to stay safe and protect their home. So there you have it. Observing these amazing creatures can teach us valuable lessons about recognizing early signs of natural events and adapting accordingly. I'd love to hear from you. Are there any other animals you've seen or heard that act strangely before heavy rain, storms, or floods? Feel free to share your thoughts or experiences in the comments below. And if you liked this video, please hit the thumbs up button. Thanks for watching and see you next time. Bye.